Hi, my name is Doug Sinclair, and this is my informative speech about emergency preparedness. So I'd like to start out by asking if you've ever been camping before. I've been camping. You ever get out there and you're in that beautiful campsite, you're hot and sweaty after setting everything up, you go to the cooler, you're hoping to grab a nice cold bottle of water, and all you get is a handful of ice. What do? Well, you drive to the local gas station just like I did and you buy some more water. Problem solved. Well, that's great. Yeah, I've been camping. You're probably saying to yourself, yeah, I've been camping. I forgot a toothbrush or a pillow or water. I bought some. What's the big deal? What does this have to do with emergency preparedness? Well, I think it's got everything to do with emergency preparedness. When you're camping, you're out 3 days, you just go buy something, right? Well, how about in 2006 when that windstorm hit us? There were downed trees, down power lines. There were roads that were blocked. There were neighborhoods that didn't have power for 7 days. I didn't have power for 3 days. So I want to help you prepare for those emergencies and help give you the tools, or at least a guideline, on how to save your family. And how am I going to do that? Well, I came up with the GET method. It's a 3-step method, the GET method, that will get you going and help you remember the things that you need to do if you need to roll out that action. All right, so what is the GET method? Well, the first letter, G, is for goods. You figure out within your family who likes to eat what. I'm sure that not everybody's going to enjoy eating 3 days worth of canned refried beans or something, right? So let's figure out what you like to eat, put it on a list, go grocery shopping, no problem. But I think it's also important to talk about, in an event such as that windstorm, if you lose electricity, that means you don't have a refrigerator, right? It's not running. What do? Well, go buy some dry ice. Make a note to yourself. Remember to go buy some dry ice. Have that cooler ready to go. Put the perishable foods from the refrigerator in your cooler and eat that first. You want to eat your perishable foods first. Well, what about water? Well, you got to have water. So this is where is a great opportunity to talk about the Washington State Department of Health ready.gov website. That is a fantastic resource. They will tell you all about everything you need to know about food, about water, how to sanitize, boil water. So you really got to check that portion out. What do you do if there's a tree that fell in your house? You get a big hole in your house, or you're missing half your roof, or half the house is gone. What do you do in that situation? You can't stay at home, right? You're gonna have to evacuate, which brings us to the letter E, evacuate. You got to get out of the house. You have to have a plan on how you're going to get out of the house. You got to have a plan on what you're going to take with you. And part of that is probably going to be an evacuation kit. So what do you need to have in that kit? Well, probably flashlight, probably batteries, a blanket, maybe some clothes, and probably not Grandpa's painting from 100 years ago, but just give you an idea of what you need to work towards. Did you know that you're probably going to need a shelter, right? So when you leave. So FEMA, Washington State Department of Health, has a link. If you text the word shelter to and your zip code, so text shelter and your zip code to the number 4 FEMA, they're going to tell you where a local shelter is. That's amazing. That's a great tool. It's a great communication tool. Which brings us to the final letter, the final step, T, for talk. You've got to talk to your family members. You've got to talk to loved ones and establish that communication plan, or even perhaps a location that you might have to meet somebody if you can't get a hold of anyone. So how do you get a hold of someone? Well, in 2000, actually I don't remember the year, but it was the Nisqually earthquake, and we lost cell communication. Couldn't text, couldn't call, couldn't get a hold of anybody. So the best thing to do in that scenario is set up an outside contact, out of state, that everybody from your family, your loved ones, whoever it is, can call that number and say, hey, I'm okay. Please relate to so-and-so when they call, then I'm okay. I'm at this location. I've got food, clothing, and I'll be fine. I'll be home as soon as I can possibly get. So again, talking is a physical need of ours, and it's a social need of ours. So put that into action and save your family's life. So talking about emergency preparedness, I hope that I've instilled some interest, or perhaps even motivated you to put in a plan of action in front of your entire family to talk about, because you're not going to be able to think of everything. You want to engage your family members because they're probably going to have ideas and input that'll help you put this whole plan together. Having a binder, an emergency binder, is a great idea. And laminate all those letters or all those documents in that binder, because then if it gets wet, it's always going to be there. So let's recap here a little bit. So we talked about point one, which is goods. Got to have plenty of food. Make sure you got food that you can eat, right? You got to have all that. So, step two, we talked about evacuation and shelter. You need to establish what you're going to have in your evacuation kit. And then also step three, you need to have a talk. You need to talk, T for talk, and figure out who you're going to talk to outside of your local area and make sure that everybody understands that phone number and who they're calling. So, if there's one thing that you take away from all this, it's that GET method. And even more so, that their Washington State Department of Health has a website, ready.gov, that you can refer to for anything. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and take care.